This is MJ here. I'm ready to talk about some tokusatsu. Going to talk about something I never thought I would talk about, and that's Kamen Rider Brain. So there's this Kamen Rider Drive saga thing that keeps going, and for whatever reason, they've decided to make Romude number 3, Brain, into a Kamen Rider. I will be totally upfront, totally transparent. I do not like Kamen Rider Drive as a show overall. I think there are many failings, many faults, many things that are disappointing to me. I liked how it started out, and I could describe exactly what went wrong. I never really liked Brain. I didn't like. Well, I'll wait to get to some of it. But anyway, I wasn't going to do this, but I decided to go ahead and watch it and give it a fair shake. It was only 7 minutes long, so that was kind of cool. Thanks Overtime for putting out the subs. I know those. I think most people at Overtime really like Kamen Rider Drive, which is great, for them. So they're doing it and making the subs available to people. So I appreciate that, and I just wanted to go ahead and talk about it, give my thoughts on it, and I surprisingly do have some positive things to say, but I did just want to get out my negativity about Drive, in the beginning here. So with as little Kamen Rider Showa writers as I've watched, I really love the aesthetic of the Showa writers. I love just how creepy and intense it all is, and despite the fact that the screenshot I have here is Brain screaming in a silly way, it is still treated as pretty serious, and it is played off as really serious by the Moo organization, and I like the way it looks. Anyway, it just the way it's shot and everything, it's framed so well, and it's reminiscent of Rider 1, Takeshi Hongo being tied up in chained to the table in the shocker facility, and I thought that was really neat. They even pulled in. They did really good set design. They brought in all these old-looking computers and stuff. I wonder if these are things that appeared in like Kamen Rider 3, whatever that was. Was that Kamen Rider Wacky Races or whatever with Kamen Rider 3? Doesn't matter. Songo. Anyway, I think that looks good. Next thing is, again, they've got another callback to Showa era stuff, which is the Moo logo glowing on the wall and it talking and stuff. And that was a lot of fun. I think it was very effective. The voice, I believe the guy who did the voice for Shocker, or the Great Leader, or whatever, died like 3 or 4 years ago. This is 2019 when I'm recording this, and he was like a prolific voice actor. Apparently, did a bunch of voices, but the Shocker guy, the Great Leader, was one of them. And he's not around anymore. But I think whoever they got to do this did a really good job. They like the echo on it, the effects, the pulsing of the light, and everything. Like it was very much rooted in all that, which was a lot of fun. I actually didn't really mind too much the meta humor that Brain is pointing out that these guys who are all there inviting him to join the Moo army are like the bargain bin rejects who get brought back every now and then, like in the movie specials or the movies, the specials, the crossovers, whatever, for the writers to just decimate before they all ride on their bikes together and turn into a giant formation of flying 40 formation to crash through a giant CGI monstrosity. So that was kind of cool. But I just liked the look of all those guys together in that set, and the idea that they're all working together and they captured Brain and that they're doing all this stuff with him. It was pretty fun, and I like that we get to see a good amount represented. We've got people from Ghost, Gaim, obviously not Drive because it's Drive characters. There's a white grasshopper looking guy with like red crab legs or insect legs coming out of his eyes. I do not know where he's from, but he's got 2 swords. He looks incredible. I really like the design of that one. And it was just fun to see these villains back. Cancer's back from Forze. A lot of good stuff. But it also is funny that he points it out, and I didn't mind it. I really appreciated the joke this time. I can't really tell how much of Kamen Rider Brain's suit is new. But I guess the eyes are like the eyes, and most of the mask is like Trideron, or not. Well, the type speed, is that what it is? Whatever the car and the man merging into an armor form is when spoilers. The guy gets resurrected and then gets this new powerful form. It looks like that form, the eyes shape. Well, no, I guess his eyes are always shaped that way, so I just spoiled something for no good reason. I like the fact that the brain is like split, and that it's one set of colors on one side and the other on the other, because brain, either the left right hemisphere, they have different dynamics and they offer different things. The colors are neat. It's greens, but it's also like some purples and blues, I would say. Although the way it's shot in the dark might make it look a little different. But I like the look of it overall. The cloth parts, reminiscent of his Romude design, are pretty fun. I like the fact that he's on a bike. I believe it's Chaser's bike, but with a brain emblem on it instead of whatever. I think Chaser had like a skull or something. So that's kind of cool. I appreciate that. He kind of mows through people, and they very much have him rescue the professor who's trying to save him, who opted for him to be like, they're basically repeating the story from Rider 1 and Professor Midorikawa and stuff, which again, I don't mind. They actually made another good joke that I'll talk about before I go to a bad joke, which is hey, the Heisei era is almost over. Can we stop with all the Showa stuff? Because they are making it such a direct homage to Showa Rider stuff, specifically Rider 1. So I thought that was pretty cute. I'll close up with this. I really didn't like when he was getting electrocuted. I I like that he was getting electrocuted for making sarcastic remarks, and that they planned for this guy being a jerk, and that they were gonna put it back on him by zapping him every time and by warning him about that. But of course they didn't warn him about it the first time, so he could get zapped once. That was fun, but partly because I don't like Brain, and it's fun to see him suffer, in a cartoonish way. But at the same time, I'm going to also complain about the fact that it was so cartoonish. And isn't that having it both ways? Yes, it is, but I'm the one running the show here, and I'm choosing to do that. I didn't like that you could see his brain through there, and I can't tell if that's supposed to be Heart's, antler heart thing, or if that's supposed to be Medic's uterus. I don't remember who it was, but a long time ago, I was talking, or I was in an exchange with somebody, I think on Twitter, and it was during Drive, and I was like, what shape is Medic supposed to have? And they said, it's a uterus. And I realized, oh, it is a uterus. Like, she's got some big thing on her head, or her shoulders, or something in her monster form. And sure enough, Brain's got a big brain, Heart's got heart-shaped antlers, and I think he's got a big heart on his chest too, maybe? I don't know. And she's got a uterus. I cannot believe how reductive the series is towards the female characters. And it doesn't bother me. Well, gosh, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. And anyway, I don't know if that's if he's got her uterus on his brain, or if he's got Heart's horns on his brain or whatever. But they show the cartoon thing there, and it just, I don't know, it bothered me. Honestly, if it was another writer who I liked better, it would make me laugh and I'd have fun with it. But because I have issues with Brain himself, again, who I never really liked as a character, and Drive overall, which did weird stuff that I didn't like or enjoy with the characters, I'm holding it against it, and whatever, I'm biased. But that's who I am. Okay, this is the real last thing. Once again, the Kamen Rider Kicks 20th anniversary logo is back. It's at the very beginning of the episode, and that's the best part of it's the best part of Zio. I got to give props to whoever. That's the best part of this Kamen Rider brain. No, I'm gonna stick with them. I'm gonna talk about it more, just to kind of see what happens. I have no idea what happened in Kamen Rider Heart, because barf. There's no way I have any interest in that. But I know this is short, and I think there's only going to be a couple episodes of it, so I'll stick with it and see what it's like. But it was something. What a compliment. But yeah. Anyway, not a fan of this brain thing. It's kind of interesting. I'll stick with it out of curiosity more than anything. But I still stand by. Well, that's not true. The suit design's pretty good. The humor was good. The Showa, or the humor was decent. The Showa design aesthetic and approach and everything, and the references were really spot on and solid. And I didn't mind them being used humorously, because it's been so long. We don't need to bow down to that stuff and show it reverence all the time. It's fun to poke fun with it and play with it. And I did enjoy those aspects of it. So overall, decent. I don't get why this is happening though, but I'll roll with it for now. If you enjoyed this, please share it, like it. If you're not subscribed already, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can get notices on when I do these and all the other stuff I do, talking about tokusatsu and anime and whatnot. Star Wars comics, I'm reviewing those. You can see more of my work at mjmunoz.com. If you want to support me, you can help me out, do more, help enable me to do more stuff at coffee.com/mjmunoz. And if you want to have a conversation about Drive and Brain, hit me up in the comments. I would love that. I love feedback, and you can give me some tips, or not tips, but just general feedback, and I'd love to have a conversation. So I think that is all I have to say for now, so I will bid you adieu.